Hey, good morning, kids. I love you. Stew, our leftover roast. We gotta make stew, right? So, here's what we have. We have the leftover roast. Duh. Potatoes I'm gonna cut up. We have the leftover carrots. And we're just gonna chop this stuff up in here. I cut the fat off, y'all, when it's cold. It's easy to get rid of that fat. And we're talking rough chop, no big deal. Don't freak out, make it easy, right? How are y'all doing this morning? We're having a time. Seems to be very allergy ridden right now in Oklahoma. We had a cold front come through and apparently it brought the allergy stuff with it. My household doesn't feel too good. I don't know. Hoping that's all it is allergies. Anyway, cut the roast up. You know, in kind of bite-sized pieces. Y'all, this cold roast makes such good leftover cold roast beef sandwiches. Did y'all eat those? Do you eat those? I grew up on those on Sunday evening after church because we would have roast for lunch. We'd come home in the evening and have cold roast beef sandwiches. Put a little salt on it. It's so good. It's so good. And my dog knows I'm cutting up meat in this corner. She knows she gets the fat. Here, Millie. I tell her not to beg. And then I feed her every time. Every time. So why wouldn't she beg? It works. She's getting good at catching it in her mouth. Some of the time. Anyway, we're almost done here with this. Rough chop the roast, the leftover roast. I'm hungry, y'all. I am. I'm gonna save that chunk for a cold roast beef sandwich. Just like the other day. Cut up your potatoes. I just do bite sizes. I don't want humongous chunks in my stew. Then we're going to put, after the potato, I'm just going to cut those carrots up real quick. I need some onion too. I can throw that in after I get everything else in. See, everything doesn't have to be perfect. It's stew. It's simple food. We are not in a restaurant. Don't let people food shame you like you have to have everything perfect. You know what counts? Is if it tastes good. And you do need some nutrition along the way. But this has got all the vegetables. All the vegetables. And meat, protein and vegetables. And it's the thing to do with leftover roast. That's what we do here anyway. I don't know what everybody else does. I'm just showing you what we do. See, there went the carrots. It's that simple. Can of tomatoes. I'm just using diced tomatoes. Dump it in. I'm using a can of green beans. Just old little sliced green beans. See, you see that little bit of roast I started with? I promise you, this pot's gonna be full. You're gonna feed your family. You can feed your family and someone else's family for a week on this pot of stew. But you can share stew. It's nutritious and it's homey and it's comforting. People like comforting, homey food. We do. I hope y'all do. I only have frozen corn right now, so dumping some in. How much? Oh, about that much. That's about it. See? I mean, how much corn do you want? That's how much you dump in. Okay? It's not brain surgery. It's not brain surgery. It's stew. And stew, from what I can gather, is leftovers thrown in a pot with some kind of a liquid and seasoning. That's it. And I think that is... There is a darn fly in here, and he is driving me freaking nuts. Transcriber, I said freaking. Don't you dare put a cuss word under my video. One of my videos, that like auto transcribe thing, it put a word that I would not say ever. I'm not saying I wouldn't say some words, but that one I don't say. So if you see it, be like, no, she did not say that, because my mom called me out on that yesterday. She's like, excuse me, there's a bad word under there. I didn't say that. Okay, so now, look how easy and quick that was. I'm gonna stir it up. You got your meat and your veggies, some onion. I put half an onion in. You can put a whole onion in. You can put no onion in if you don't like onion. You can add garlic if you want garlic. I like garlic okay. Too much of it makes me sick. Didn't used to, but I'm getting older, so that's what happens. Just a second, I gotta get my can of soup. Yes, it was literally out in the car. I bought it and then I left it in the bag in the car because I'm a goober. I am using as my base a can of tomato soup. If you are a food snob and cannot tolerate canned soup, I do not know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. A lot of soup around here, a lot of meals around here start with canned soup, and I don't know what you're supposed to do if you're against canned soup. My last name is not Campbell's, and I do not make condensed soup. And a lot of Oklahoma recipes have condensed soup in them. You can use tomato sauce if you want to. I've done that instead of tomato soup. But I like tomato soup. I do. And I have the canned tomatoes in there. I have fresh tomatoes. I can chop them up in there. I save them for my tomato sandwiches, you know, because this tomato season is gonna be over here pretty quick, and I want to taste that. I want to taste that fresh tomato, fresh, not canned in stew. I mean, not put it in stew where I can't fully appreciate. I know a lot of people will be like, "You're nuts." It is what it is. I want to taste the fresh tomatoes, like straight up. And look, I bought this at the dollar store, and it's an odd size. I guess they have to do something different there to justify it being $1. I don't know. But it is a different size. It says 30% bigger. 50 do. And I'm adding a soup can of water. Okay. Because that's what you do. Oh my gosh, y'all. When you cook in a small area, you have to keep it clean. You have to, or you'll lose your mind. I clean up as I go because I can't stand clutter. It makes me not be able to think. So bear with me for 1 second. Before I move it out of the way. And back there. Here we are. I just cannot think amidst clutter. And there it goes. That will be the base. I will add water as needed. I'm going to show you all this. And I'll put it over here on the stove and finish seasoning it. That's what I'll do. But there's the basic, okay? See that? Basic stew. Put it over here on the burner. Now let me see if I can get this set up. Well, my burner's clearly hot. My pan is rocking. This old Jenn-Air stove, it's kind of funny because it has a flat ceramic thing. Stop it. You're on camera, you're being embarrassing. Okay. I am going to add Worcestershire sauce. I don't know, maybe 3 tablespoons, like that. That's how Justin Wilson, the old Cajun chef on television, I learned so much from him. That's how he taught me to measure Worcestershire sauce. He would just run it all over. Run it 1, 2, 3. That's what he did. I'm also going to add just a little red wine. If you don't drink and don't have any red wine, it's okay. Yours just won't have it. It'll still be good, but I do like a little red wine in mine. When I make brown stew, I like to add beer. When I make with beef broth and the gravy and beer. Yep, that's good stuff. Now how much? I don't know, about that much. Twice, I guess, that's what I did. It's so not something that you have to be accurate with. It just isn't. I'm gonna add a little bit more water because as it cooks, you know, I want the water to be flavored and seasoned, so I don't want to add it all at the end and water it down. See all them veggies? That's what stew is, with the leftover protein. Namely roast in these parts. I don't know about other parts because I'm just an Oklahoman and that's what I know. So, salt to taste, pepper. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I use salt and pepper. It's like, I don't know how you cook without salt and pepper, but not in this kitchen, you don't. But if you don't like black pepper, don't put it in. Okay, I'm going to put in just a little bit of thyme. See, I am actually quite cultured. I'm using thyme, although it's not fresh, so some people still wouldn't think so. Oh, did you see how much was in my hand? It was just a little bit in my hand. You don't want it to overpower. You just want a little seasoning. I'll put just a little bit more. Probably I did 2 of those, probably. Little bits. And I'm also very fancy because I used red wine today, so let's give me some points for that. And I haven't even drank it. A pinch of basil. Do you see here? I literally just pinched. Then what I usually do is smell it. And see how much seasoning is floating around on it. I'm just being honest with you. Maybe another little pinch of basil. Okay, so I did 2 pinches of basil and 2 generous pinches of thyme. That's it. Salt, pepper. But if you like oregano, if you want, you know what else? Could put a, okay, y'all are probably gonna be like, what? Just a little garlic salt. You could also buy a stew seasoning packet like they sell at the grocery store, and you could dump that in there. My mom's done it, and it's good. She doesn't always, obviously, but she has. Now, do you see how that is? This is gonna cook. Now, you know I like a little cayenne in almost anything, even my chocolate. Little cayenne. And I'm gonna tell you my other obsession is smoked paprika. I cannot get enough smoked paprika. I love it. It just adds a little earthy, smoky flavor to it. That's dadgum delicious. It is. Now, I'm just gonna let that cook. I'm gonna put the lid on it if I can find the lid. I think I'll put this lid on it for right now and let some steam out. And I'm gonna let it cook, and I'll come back to you later. Bye. Y'all, this is just a quick check-in on the stew. It's been simmering for like probably an hour and 15, hour and 20, something like that. This is as close to a simmer as you get on my burner. It's a low boil, not gonna lie. These, they won't do really low. But anyways, it's been cooking for about an hour and a half, hour and 20, something like that. I was just thinking, you know, if you don't like green beans, you can put celery in it. You can put green peas in it. Or all of the above. Whatever vegetables you like, put it in there. I mean, I've never seen like broccoli in it or anything. But green beans, peas, corn, carrots. I think I've seen cabbage in it. Some people put in it. Whatever you have, put it in there. Whatever your family likes. Or maybe if you put it in there, maybe they'll like it in there anyway, because it's mixed all up. I will come back when it's all done and make a little blip on that. Bye. Okay, stew's done. Remember the cornbread we just made and we buttered? It's all nice and buttered. Put that in the bottom of your bowl. You don't have to if you don't like it that way. I like stew or beans or whatever soup over my cornbread. But if you just want your cornbread on the side, put it on the side or stick it in the side of your bowl. But I like it like this. This is how I'm doing it. Then you pour the stew over. It simmered a good hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. If you put it in a slow cooker, it can simmer all day long. I'm gonna get my hair out of there. It can simmer all day long in the slow cooker, like while you're at work or something, and then that is the quickest, easiest meal to have ready in the evening for your family, okay? And then, I mean, this is a hearty bowl of food, and that buttered cornbread under there is delicious. It is. And that was it's such an easy recipe. So, big bowl of stew, buttered cornbread. You got a meal, a hearty meal for your family or to share. All right? Y'all take care. Love you. Look at that. promise y'all. I just took a bite and it's good. It's so good. You're gonna like it. Your family's gonna like it. Bye.